Time now for a look at these funeral announcements brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home. 256-245-4361. Two locations of Curtis & Son Funeral Home in Childersburg on Highway 280 and in Sylacauga on Highway 21 North. 256-245-4361. Since 1974, Curtis & Son Funeral Home has served the funeral needs the folks here in South Talladega County and surrounding areas. Curtis & Son Funeral Home for pre-needs, funerals, burials, or cremations. It is Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Memorial service for Mr. Kennan McLaughlin will be Saturday, April the 22nd, at the Oldfield Baptist Church in Sylacauga. Memorial service will be held for Mr. McLaughlin, who passed away in Sylacauga Sunday at the age of 58. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Memorial service for infant Kyle Alexander Seeley is Sunday at 1 p.m. from the Chapel of Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City. The Reverend Vince Lee officiating. The family receiving friends Saturday from 11:30 until 12:30 at the funeral home. Memorial contribution may be made to the Lake Martin Animal Shelter or to the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Patricia Ann Rushing Barnett, age 71 of Sylacauga, is today at 2 o'clock from the Chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home. Reverend Wayne McDaniel officiating. Burial in the Talladega Springs Cemetery. Mrs. Barnett died Monday, April 10th at her residence. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Funeral service for Mr. Byron Willis Daniel, age 78 of Alexander City, is today at 11 o'clock from the Chapel of Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City. The Reverend Charles Skip Cook and the Reverend Mikey Taylor will officiate. Burial in the Alexander City Cemetery. Mr. Daniel died Tuesday at Brown Nursing Home. He was a member of the Calvary Heights Baptist Church. The family will accept flowers for the funeral service, or memorial contribution can be made to the Calvary Heights Baptist Church in Alexander City. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home directing. Memorial service for Mrs. Juanita Brooks Kendricks, age 69 of Alexander City, is today at 3 p.m. from the Cook Recreation Center in Alexander City. Funeral service for Mrs. Ora Lee Hall, age 81, is Monday at 1 p.m. from Armour's Memorial Chapel in Alexander City. Burial in the Armour's Memorial Garden. Armour's Memorial Funeral Home directing. Mrs. Louise B. Oden, age 94, died April the 12th in Georgia. Arrangements to be announced later by Community Funeral Home. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org. Jolene Lee Jones, age 81, died Friday, March 31st. And the family respectfully requests any donation be made to the American Lung Association. Mrs. Jones was a greeter at Community Bible Church for a number of years. She passed away peacefully in her home on Friday, March the 31st. Jerry Cecil Gilbert Jr., age 32, died April the 10th. Graduate of the class of 2004 at Lincoln High School. And Talladega Funeral Home is the director of the service. The funeral service will be today at noon from Talladega Funeral Home Chapel. Talladega Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Mr. Clifford Breedlove, age 76, is Saturday at 1 o'clock from Sims Funeral Home Chapel in Talladega. Pastor Robert Duncan officiating. Interment in the Westview Cemetery. Sims Funeral Service directing. Funeral service for Mr. Joseph Randall Flournoy, age 62, of Alexander City, is Monday, April the 17th at 2 p.m. from Flint Hill United Methodist Church. The Reverend John Hill will officiate. Burial in the Hillview Memorial Park. The family receiving friends Monday at the church from 1 until service time. Mr. Flournoy died Tuesday at his residence. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home in Alexander City in charge of the funeral arrangements. These obituaries this morning brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home in Sylacauga on Highway 21 North, in Childersburg on Highway 280. For pre-need funeral burials and cremations, it is Curtis & Son Funeral Home since 1974. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, 256-245-4361. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.